Welcome to the Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota for the Central Region Championship on Midco Sports. In what should be a fantastic showdown, the Bearcats of Northwest Missouri State take on the Vikings of Augustana. And good evening, everyone. Happy to have you with us. David Brown alongside Brad Newitt. Well, this round, Brad, is the equivalent of the Sweet 16 round in the Division I tournament. But when it comes to the Bearcats and the Vikings, they're both in the top 10 of the D2 coaches poll. They've won 4 of the last 5 national championships combined, yet tonight it is win or go home.
Well, these two teams know each other well. They've played in big games, a lot like this moment here tonight. But I think here's the thing. Northwest Missouri State, they've kind of been the kings of Division II of late. They've won 3 of the last 4 national titles. Can Augustana knock them out of this NCAA tournament? That is a really difficult thing to do.
When you get to this stage of the big dance, there are lots of individual standouts, but for our players to watch, why not go with the MIAA and NSIC Players of the Year? Let's start with Trevor Hudgens of Northwest Missouri State. Leads the nation in scoring, yet in Sunday's semifinal victory over Washburn, it was his facilitation that made the biggest difference.
Absolutely. He had 7 assists in that game, and yes, Northwest Missouri State needs their point guard, who averages 23 points a game, to be big on the scoring end, but he means so much more to this team because the ball's in his hands. He can really find that open teammate well.
Hudgens, a season-low 7 points, but still averages 23 a game on the season. Augustana's Tyler Remersma is a walking double-double. 18 points, 11 rebounds are his averages this season. Yet like Hudgens, it was Remersma's ability to pass out of the high post that made the biggest difference in Sunday's semifinal win over Upper Iowa.
Well, as much as Northwest Mo likes to play through their point guard, Augustana will play through their big in Remersma. They love to get him touches down low. Let him read the defense. If the double team comes, fine. If not, he will be very aggressive scoring, but I tell you where he's really dangerous. The O glass. Almost 4 offensive boards a game, and so the Bearcats have got to keep him off the boards.
Remersma with 18 double-doubles this season, top 10 in the country. As we get a look at the tail of the tape, as you might expect, the Bearcats and Vikings tops in their respective conferences in a lot of different categories, but you can also see some distinct advantages for each side.
Yeah, I think Augustana, one of the reasons they're here, David, is they've really dug into the defensive end. You can see that they lead the NSIC in that points per game category. And then on the flip side, Northwest Mo is such an efficient team offensively. They'll want a little bit of a lower possession game, but shooting over 50% from the field, and a great three-point shooting team on top of that too.
The last time these teams squared off in this building, exactly 6 years ago today in the 2016 Region Championship, an epic contest won by Augustana en route to their first national title. What do we have in store tonight? Find out next. Bearcats, Vikings, trip to the Elite Eight on the line on Midco Sports. Welcome back. We are live at the Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It's the 2022 NCAA Central Region Championship. The 3-seed Northwest Missouri State against the 1-seed and host school, Augustana. David Brown and Brad Newitt with you. Let's get a quick look at our series history. And as you might expect, between 2 really good teams, all-time series tied at 4. This is the 4th time they have met in the region tournament. 2015, Northwest Missouri State got Augustana on this court in the semifinals. They end up losing to MSU Moorhead in the region championship. 2016, that's the one everyone on both sides remembers. Came down to the wire. A couple of late Jordan Spencer free throws proved to be the difference as Augustana won that game and went on to win the national championship in 2016. And then 2017, Northwest Missouri State, they hosted the regional. They defeated Augustana in the semifinals. Then they came to this building for the Elite Eight and won the 2017 national championship. A lot of great history between these two schools.
There sure is. And a lot of history in this building. I mean, Northwest Missouri State's played a ton of games here. You mentioned, David, winning a national championship here in 2017. But, I mean, here's the thing. You look at Northwest Missouri State, in their last 21 games in the NCAA tournament, they've won 20 of them. So getting this team out of this tournament, a very difficult task. That's what Augustana's facing here tonight.
The reason these teams are so good, veteran players, as we get a look at our starting lineups. First for Northwest Missouri State, the visitors on the scoreboard. Diego Bernard, one of the best defensive players in the country. Isaiah Jackson, also a good defender with an elevated role this season. Trevor Hudgens, the 3-time MIAA Player of the Year. Wes Dreamer, who's really elevated his game. and Luke Waters rounds out that starting five. This is essentially the same Northwest Missouri State team as last season, minus Ryan Hawkins, who, by the way, just became a second-team All-Big East player at Creighton, where he leads them in scoring.
That is just amazing. This program can lose a player like Hawkins and still win 30 games and be right back in this same position trying to win another national championship.
On the other side for Augustana, they will go with the same starting lineup they have had all season long. As you see Jamison Bryan getting introduced, the Augustana starters: Dylan LeBrun, Jamison Bryan, Isaac Fink, Tyler Remersma, the NSIC South Division Player of the Year, and Adam Dykman, another good post who came over from South Dakota State a couple of years ago, now in his 7th year of collegiate basketball. You want to talk veteran, Dykman is it, but all these guys, juniors or above.
Exactly. 4 seniors in that starting lineup. Fink a junior, but tons of experience. And really just a very complete team in Augustana. They've got great post play. They've got guys that can shoot it. Jamison Bryan has really come along as a point guard that can push tempo as well.
Even with the experience, they don't have a lot of tournament experience. For each of these guys, it is their first Central Region tournament for Augustana. But this building, as you mentioned, Brad, it's been good for both teams. Augustana moved here for its home games a couple of years ago. Their all-time record is 40-16. Northwest Missouri State, not too shabby themselves, 9-2. Their 2 losses: the 2015 Central Region Championship to MSU Moorhead, the 2016 Central Region Championship to Augustana. And as you saw, Augustana won the region here in 2016. Northwest Missouri State won the national title here in 2017, as we mentioned. And a great crowd on hand. Kudos to the fans from Maryville who came up, but we got a pretty packed house here.
As it should be. I mean, this game, this Central Region title game, in a lot of ways has served as the de facto national championship game, because when you look at the national championship at the D2 level, the representative that comes out of this region is usually either winning the title or at least playing for it, and that's the way it's been for quite some time.
The winner of this game has reached the last 5 national championship games, and they've won 4 of them. Northwest Missouri State in 2017, 2019, last year in 2021, and of course Augustana in 2016. Ben McCullum, what an outstanding job he has done. You see the record, 330-83. In the last 6 years, they've only lost 13 games.
That is impossible to wrap your mind around. Just a great success story at this Division II level.
Great success for Tom Billiter as well, nearly 2 decades at the helm. As you see McCullum and Billiter shaking hands, a couple of guys who have won this tournament, who have won national championships, and they show down here again in 2022. We are underway at the Pentagon. Augustana wins the tap. Vikings in the home white uniforms, navy numbers, gold trim. Bearcats, road green uniforms with the white numbers.
Right away, you see Augustana wanting to establish the low post position. That's their advantage. Size inside in this game.
Dykman, turnaround, just offline, rebound by Isaiah Jackson.
And if you flip it the other way, David, guard play. Northwest Missouri State, some of the best guards you'll see at any level of college basketball.
Here's Bernard working against Bryan. Spinning in the lane, working against Jamison Bryan. Tough take, rebound by Dykman.
And defensive transition can be really important for the Bearcats. Augustana will want to push some tempo if they can in this game.
Turnaround hook by Remersma. Tough take, but he got it to go.
Those are the shots that Northwest Missouri State wants Remersma to have to take. They will live with the results if he makes a few of those.
Here's Luke Waters. Hudgens. The kick in the corner to Bernard for 3. That splashes in for Diego Bernard.
And David, that's what Trevor Hudgens means to Northwest Missouri State. Draws the defense, finds the open shooter. Great facilitator there at that point guard spot.
Down low again to Remersma. Turnaround scoop with the left goes. First 4 of the game for Tyler Remersma.
And he's attacking Wes Dreamer in that low post. You're seeing The strength of both these teams early on already coming out.
Hudgens behind the back. They're going to get a whistle against LeBrun before the shot.
And this is the matchup that Augustana has chosen defensively, to put LeBrun at 6'6" on Hudgens, trying to put some size on the point guard.
Floater goes for Wes Dreamer. LeBrun pulls up for a long two off the front iron.
Every defensive board really important in this game for Northwest Missouri State, because Augustana terrific at crashing the O-glass. You will rarely see this Bearcat team get in a hurry, David. They are great at controlling tempo and taking quality shots.
Shot clock under 5 for Bernard, driving down the lane. The feed and the finish by Isaiah Jackson.
Well, Bernard, a guard that can dish it as well. Great chemistry there.
Back out, Isaac Fink for 3. In and out. LeBrun gets the offensive rebound and a loose ball foul on Jackson.
This is the first offensive board in the game for Augustana. And it's not just the posts that are great on the glass. Augustana's got a lot of size at the wing. Fink, LeBrun, those two in particular can really get after the boards too.
Shot clock down to 5 as they get it into Remersma. Tried to skip it over, intercepted by Jackson. Hudgens, beautiful pass to Luke Waters, wide open for 3, couldn't hit.
That's the Bearcat offense, though. They're going to make a lot of those threes. They shoot 40% as a team.
LeBrun fell down, somehow got it to Remersma. Jamison Bryan pulls up. Another rebound for Bernard. Moving ahead to Jackson, gliding in for 2.
Just when you think Northwest Missouri State's going to walk it up the floor, if you don't get back, they are sneaky and they'll get you. Augustana caught sleeping that time.
Feed down low, Adam Dykeman flushes it down.
And how well have those two bigs played over the years together? They just really read each other well that time. Great pass finding Dykeman.
Hudgens got the step, trying to go high off glass. LeBrun affected that shot.
Yeah, that's where the size defensively. That's why Tom Billiter likes that matchup.
Reaching by Bernard. They're going to whistle Bernard for the personal. Bearcats and Vikings trying to establish some tempo early, their own tempo at least. Nearly 5 minutes in, 9-6, Northwest Missouri State over Augustana.
Division II Men's Basketball Central Region Championship on Midco Sports is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Get back to your passion.
(9-6) Northwest Missouri State over Augustana. A little less than 5 minutes into this one. David Brown, Brad Newitt, our entire Midco Sports production crew. Thank you for those watching both on television and on the Midco Sports Plus app. Remersma split the defense and scores again.
And he's made all 3 of his shots in this game. A terrific start for Augustana's leading scorer.
Jackson.
Interesting matchups on this end, but Augustana with their size at their wings have interchangeable parts.
Good ball movement, but Waters stepped out of bounds.
You see some of the versatility Augustana can have defensively. It's why they're such a good defensive team. They can switch screens with their wings, and those wings can guard bigs and vice versa.
Brian got tripped.
That should have been a foul, yep.
Gets back up and finds Fink.
That good ball reversal. Augustana again really trying to pound it inside when they can, though.
Dykeman, turnaround, splashes it in. Augustana retakes the lead.
Well, I would say Northwest Missouri State is winning some position more down low, but it doesn't matter early in this game because Augustana is just shooting over them in the post.
Shot clock under 10 for Hudgens.
This is where he's an elite playmaker.
Skip it over Bernard. Missed the three. It's a shot clock violation. Couple of subs in. Byron Alexander in for Northwest Missouri State. Bennett Otto in for Augustana, along with Okoye.
I don't think either one of these teams is going to go to their bench a lot tonight. But when the subs are in, those are key minutes for them.
Otto took a tough angle.
And with Otto in for Augustana, boy, they get even bigger defensively. No player shorter than 6'4" out there right now for the guys in white.
Hudgens got some space and buries a three. That's what he does. Leads the country in threes.
Silky, smooth lefty, banging in a big-time shot there. Look at where Augustana's posts are catching it, though. Way out of the paint.
Bennett Otto responds with a triple of his own.
And Augustana wants to play inside out. That's where their threes will come from.
Waters tried to find Hudgens on a backdoor cut, but it goes out of bounds.
That's where the size of Dylan LeBrun really matters defensively. A smaller defender, and that pass probably gets through for a layup.
Remersma got the step, took a tough angle, and put it in anyway. Ben McCollum wants to talk it over. Vikings with a quick 5-0 spurt here. They've made their last 4 from the field, and they lead by 3. Tyler Remersma certainly stood tall for his entire Augustana career. He's averaged a double-double each of the last 3 seasons. The only player in the NSIC to average a double-double the last 2 seasons. And already a great start today, 4 for 4 at any points.
They've really fed him the ball down low. And Northwest Missouri State has tried a couple things. Push him out of the paint, he shot over him. Try to front. You see that last play, they threw over the top and he got an easy one. David, an 11-3 run right now for Augustana over the last 4 minutes. Probably the biggest key they've held Northwest Mo to just 3 points in 4 minutes of game action.
Wes Dreamer cannot change that as he's off from downtown. Remersma again in the post. Turn around with the left. He is 5 for 5.
And Northwest Missouri State does not want to have to bring a double team, but they have got to seriously start thinking about it.
Hudgens off on that triple, but Luke Waters comes skying in, can't get the second chance.
Bearcats really needed that basket. On this, and the guys in green have got to do everything they can to keep it out of Riemersma's hands.
Okoye off on the long two.
I don't think that's the shot Tom Billiter wanted out of Okoye. I mean, Riemersma's been on fire. You need to get him another touch.
Bernard spinning in the lane. Off the back iron. Second chance for the Bearcats. Hudgens, the drop off to Alexander. That one affected by Riemersma from behind.
And Augustana's done a pretty good job of making Trevor Hudgens give the ball up early in this game.
Shot clock under 10 for Otto. Otto will drive the lane, dump to Riemersma, 6 for 6.
And Wes Dreamer came off to help there. And that's just something that Northwest Missouri State can't afford to do. Riemersma just having too good of a game. 9-zip here run as Augustana's opened up this 7-point advantage.
Waters. Jump stop. They swing it to Dreamer in the corner. Otto to Okoye. Okoye spins. Trying to take a tough angle. They're going to give a flop warning on Wes Dreamer.
Dreamer's had his hands full defensively in this game. And I think a good call here. You got to let the bigs bang a little bit, and Dreamer went to the floor pretty easy that time.
Well, as you mentioned, Brad, it's a 9-0 run, 15-3 going back to earlier in the ball game, and those three coming off a Trevor Hudgens shot from downtown. Otherwise, Northwest Missouri State, they've missed 6 in a row.
Yeah. Empty possessions, way too many in a row for the guys in green. And Augustana's done a great job of just bottling Hudgens up, not letting him get loose. Their leading scorer.
Waters working against Okoye. Just off.
They're making other players have to beat them, and it's working right now for the Vikings.
Bryant to Otto. Otto's driving baseline. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds.
This is a Northwest Missouri State offense that's one of the most efficient in the country. 51% shooting, that's top 10. And they're sitting at 31% right now. This Augustana defense has had a great start.
Wes Dreamer finally gets the lid off the basket with a much-needed 3 for the Bearcats. First field goal in nearly 5 minutes.
Good screen there by Okoye, but stepping on the sideline. The reason Augustana is up in this game is their leading scorer, Tyler Riemersma, getting it done in the low post. Some acrobatic shots, and the Vikings have the 4-point lead.
Well, how did the Bearcats get here? They beat their longtime MIAA rivals from Washburn. This was their 8th matchup in the last 2 seasons. And as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, it was Hudgens' facilitation that allowed Northwest Missouri State to win, as Wes Dreamer hits a 3, then Diego Bernard, one of the best defensive players in the country, the steal and the slam. He ended up leading the Bearcats with 18 on the night. Hudgens got going in the second half. And the Bearcats top the Ichabods by 15.
I think if you tell Northwest Mo, hey, Hudgens is only going to score 7, do you like your chances? They'd probably say, oh, it's going to be a tight one. But like you mentioned, David, he was so great setting up his teammates with those 7 assists.
And speaking of Diego Bernard, he goes right at the cup.
Very rarely will you see Augustana give up a straight line drive like that. But a nice finish by Bernard.
Here's Isaac Fink on the block. Fade away from the baseline is short.
Well, without question, one of the reasons Northwest Missouri State's been able to hang in this game is they are right there with Augustana on the glass. That's got to continue for them.
Bearcats swinging around. Here's Mitch Mascari. Back to Hudgens with a shot clock at 5. Hudgens, step back. Yes, sir.
Now there's one guy on the floor that can really create his own shot, and it's that guy right there. And the Bearcats have answered Augustana with an 8-0 run of their own here to take this lead.
Jamison Bryant can't end that run. Hudgens passed it to the Augustana bench. I think both coaches, when we talked to them earlier this week, expected a game like this. Low possession, got to get the most quality shots as possible, and this game could end up being a race to 60.
Absolutely. I mean, this pace is right where Northwest Missouri State wants it. They're going to keep it there. It'll be tough for Augustana to speed them up.
Luke Waters commits the personal foul on Remersma.
Well, without Tyler Remersma, Augustana would be sunk in this game. He's got 12 of their 19. He scored their last 6, going back to the line here now.
First one rattles in. Remersma, 6'8" senior, originally committed to the Naval Academy and played for them his freshman season. Transferred to Augustana, where he's been one of the premier posts in the NSIC over the past 3 seasons. Back tap, Remersma nearly got his own offensive rebound. Bernard's on the floor. We're going to call a jump ball. Possession arrow favors Northwest Missouri State.
Have to be ready to rebound at all times against this Viking squad. And Dykeman getting a hand on it. And Diego Bernard saying he called a timeout, but the officials said jump ball instead.
Hudgens weaving through traffic. Good ball movement. Waters with a corner 3. It's off. Even on the misses, you see how impressive Northwest Missouri State is just moving things.
Absolutely. They get ball reversals on every possession. A lot of guys touching it.
Nice backdoor cut by Fink, and the foul.
Where is Augustana doing their damage? It's inside. It's the bigs. It's the back cuts like this, and Fink finishing at the rim. David, they are 8 for 10 with paint shots. Not doing it from the arc, not doing it from mid-range, right around the hoop. That's Augustana's strength in this game, and they've really executed it well.
Fink completes the 3-point play. Here's Mascari. Back out to Hudgens.
Remersma on him. Tough matchup here for Augustana.
They're going to call the foul before the shot on the floor. He'll be on Remersma.
Well, the ball screen at the top of the key. In the last 15 seconds of the shot clock, and Augustana felt like they had to switch it.
Hudgens. He doesn't need a lot of space.
You cannot go under like that, and LeBrun got tangled up with Dykeman that time. Miscommunication, and Hudgens will make you pay for those decisions.
LeBrun for three. Dykeman chasing down the loose ball, but they're going to call him for the loose ball foul.
See Tom Billiter trying to keep his team energized on this defensive end. And how about the way Northwest Missouri State responded to the timeout that Ben McCollum called? His team getting right back in this game after that. This offense so predicated on just spacing. We'll never see two guys in green next to each other.
Luke Waters got the step and the bucket. Bearcats retake the lead. Reamersma, first miss from the field. Bernard chases down the loose ball.
Some signs of fatigue, I think, really starting to show a little bit here for both these teams.
Hudgens, a deep three. Doesn't matter. His fourth of the first half. The nation's leader in total threes just canned another one. Bearcats on an 8-0 run, and they lead by 5. Northwest Missouri State had to beat a conference rival to get here. So did Augustana as they faced Upper Iowa and Tyler Reamersma. Nice feed on the backdoor cut to Jamison Bryan. Reamersma led all scorers with 17, but again, it was his passing. How about the throw down there by Adam Dykeman? Back and forth affair. Upper Iowa got it to within one possession a couple of times, but couldn't quite close the gap as the Vikings topped the Peacocks 65-60.
Those two teams really know each other well. That was a lot more of a grinder game, I think, than Tom Billiter expected it to be. But his team found a way to win with their defense. That's probably what it's going to take here again tonight if they want to walk out of here with a title in this region.
Offensive foul.
That's going to be 2 on Dykeman. And foul trouble, something that has hurt Augustana's bigs there, as you see Dykeman moving on the screen. And he will have to go to the bench probably for the rest of this first half, as Tom Billiter's going to want to protect his big. Make sure he's got 3 fouls for that second 20.
Okoye checking in for Dykeman. Bernard found himself open off the back iron.
Really working hard for those post touches.
LeBrun hangs. Can't hit, but he'll go to the line.
Now both these teams have really made the others guard at times in this game for long stretches, and that's the difficulty. That's the challenge. Can you stay focused for 30 seconds defensively to do it without fouling and rebounding?
LeBrun misses both.
David Augustana just 2 of 5 from the line in this first half, and in a tight game. That's one of the differences here and why they're trailing.
See LeBrun shadowing Hudgens.
Absolutely.
Waters has got to get it away. Tom Billiter wanted a 5-second call.
Yeah, LeBrun doing a great job not letting him touch it.
Shot clock winding down. Mascari has to put it up, and he's off. Reamersma has the smaller Bernard on him. Gets bumped. No call.
And Northwest Missouri State's doing a much better job on Reamersma of late, denying his touches and then bringing help.
Hudgens had it poked away.
I've gotten him to turn it over a couple times.
Okoye on the break.
And that's exactly what Augustana needs to do when they force a turnover. Get out and run.
First field goal for the Vikings in nearly 4 minutes. Bernard, they're going to call the whistle on Bryant on the drive.
That's the basketball IQ of this Northwest Missouri State team. They have hit 6 threes in this game, and Augustana's really closing out hard now.
Hudgens was open for 3 again and cans it. Augustana fell asleep on the inbound.
Yeah, they were over at the listening to their bench, and Hudgens has hit 5 threes in this game. Are you kidding me?
He averages 4 a game on the season, already tops in the country, and as you said, 5 in the first 20. Okoye can't hit from the elbow.
Oh, he had a game earlier this year, David, where he scored 39 at Hudgens and hit 11 threes, so this guy can do it. Ball in his hands here again as this first half winds down.
Augustana bench wanting a carry on Wes Dreamer. Mascari will fire. Fink the board, shot clock off. Augustana can hold for the final possession.
Both these teams are going to get 30 possessions in this first half. That is exactly the pace that Northwest Mo wants.
Final 10 seconds here of this first half. Dreamer's mode.
Yep, that's a good call. That's a moving screen on Jamison Bryan.
And Diego Bernard gets up now, but he's certainly taken his fair share of tumbles.
They have eliminated this rub screen. We just see the end of it there, but Jamison Bryan not set.
Final seconds, Hudgens. Yes, sir! Trevor Hudgens, hotter than a blowtorch. His 6th 3 ends the first half.
The Division II Player of the Year last year, wanting to make sure, no doubt, that he's a front runner for that award again. As David, he is single-handedly right now carrying his team in this first half.
18 points on 6 of 8 from the field, all of them from distance. He's also got 3 assists. Northwest Missouri State on top by 9 here at halftime, joined by Augustana head coach Tom Billiter. Tom, a tough end to that first half, but what's your overall assessment of the first 20?
Well, I thought we started, great. We were getting the ball inside to Ty, obviously getting post touches, even Adams' shots that he didn't make them all. I love that he was taking that baseline jumper. It's his shot. And then, I don't know why, I guess you credit their defense. It seemed like we got flat, stagnant, dribbling, not going anywhere, not making quite as aggressive cuts. Again, you always compliment their defense, but you're asking me my opinion of us. We kind of lost the ability of penetrating quick passes, getting the defense to move and shift. And you get 2-3 reversals, that middle man down low, post Ty's going to be even that much more open. So didn't end the half at all well, but we got to recollect and come back out. And we've been down 9 before and come back and won. So just got to get our composure and get that, keep back to our game plan.
All right, thanks, Tom. Best of luck in the second half. And Tom Billiter said it himself, stagnation on offense, and Northwest Missouri State executing on their end. And a big 3 by Hudgens to end the half gives the Bearcats a 9-point lead after the first 20. Coming up, halftime report, we'll hear from members of the 2016 Augustana National Championship team. Welcome back, 34-25, Northwest Missouri State with the lead at halftime, joined by Bearcats head coach Ben McCollum. And Ben, it was certainly a game of runs in that first half, but Trevor Hudgens just caught fire. What was your assessment of those first 20 minutes?
Yeah, we just got to keep boxing out, keep defending, keep playing physical basketball, and keep getting the shots that we want.
Overall, as far as the defense is concerned, what changed in sort of the second part of that first half?
We stopped gambling. We were just gambling for every steal, just overreacting to things, and I thought we did a much better job that second 10 minutes of not gambling, keeping in front.
All right, thanks, Ben. Best of luck in the second half.
Thanks.
Ben McCollum joining us there. First half highlights brought to you by Montgomery's. Isaiah Jackson had some nifty moves early and helped provide some spacing for the Bearcats.
Well, he played only 8 minutes, but 2 for 2 from the field, so very efficient scoring it with his time out there.
But of course, the star of that first half for Northwest Missouri State was this guy, Trevor Hudgens, the 3-time MIAA Player of the Year. 6 of 8 from the field, all 6 from downtown.
He made Augustana pay for mistakes. You see the over helping that time, late getting to Hudgens, and he banged in 6 threes in that first half.
Tyler Remersmo started the game 6 for 6. He missed his last 2, but his presence in the paint made the difference. Augustana has the edge in the paint, but Northwest Missouri State has the edge from downtown.
Well, the thing was, the Bearcats eventually slowed Remersmo down, David. He only scored 1 point in the last 10 minutes of that first half.
He leads Augustana with 13 of their 25 points. As you get a look at the first half stats, and threes, that's the difference. Northwest Missouri State's hit 8, Augustana's only hit 1. We mentioned the Vikings have the difference in terms of paint points, but they're gonna have to find some way to equalize it from outside.
Yeah, they've got to get the three-point line shut down, and that's gonna be tough. This Northwest Missouri State team has made more threes than any other team in the country. They came in today with 355, and they really lit it up. I think the other thing's the rebounding. Augustana cannot get beat on the glass. That's a strength of theirs. David, they've got to get after some more rebounds if they want to get back in this game.
Augustana led the conference in rebound margin this season at +7, but right now they are -2 after the first 20 minutes. The Bearcats ended that first half on a 22-6 run. We'll see if the home team can recover. Buckle up for the final 20 coming up next on Midcoast Sports. Augustana student athletes trying to rally their team. Vikings down by 9 here as we begin the second half. Largest deficit of the game thus far for Augustana.
Well, let's see, can they get the low post established again? They go inside to Fink. There's a mismatch.
Off the rim, Fink rejected by Mascari, but it's going to be a personal foul on Mascari, who is starting, by the way, in the second half in place of Isaiah Jackson. Isaiah Jackson on the bench for Northwest Missouri State, but it's Mascari who gets the start here for the second 20.
In the first half, Augustana only had 1 offensive board. They get one there. This is a team that gets almost 11 of them a game for Tom Billiter's squad.
Fink hits both. Mascari hangs and hits. Adam Dykeman for 3. That one goes in. Remember, Dykeman sat the final minutes of the first half with foul trouble and makes an immediate impact in the first minute of the second half.
And Augustana only hit 1 3 in that first half, and Dykeman, that trail 3-point shot.
Trevor Hudgens with his first 2-point basket of the ball game.
Picking up right where he left off, so
Isaac Fink comes right back down with a triple.
Now this would really help Augustana if this game would loosen up and get going more up and down. And how about this? Augustana going to throw zone at one of the best shooting teams in the country here. Let's see if it works.
1-3-1 look from Augustana. Wes Dreamer can't break it. Jamison Bryant offline on that 3.
Vikings go back man-to-man, so mixing it up, the looks they want to give on this end.
Luke Waters rejected by Remersmo.
Augustana needs to capitalize opportunities for transition like this.
Remersmo backing down Waters. They're going to call a reach-in foul.
I think they actually got Waters from behind as we see the block here by Reimers, but just getting a piece of it from the backside. But here they got Riemersma drawing the foul on Waters, bodying up. As it is getting physical and intense here to start the second half.
Turnaround from Isaac Fink.
And Augustana going zone on the made shots. Man when they miss it. And Ben McCollum trying to get his team to move the ball against this zone. There it goes.
Call foul on the drive.
Coach McCollum is animated over there.
And that's the third foul on Jamison Bryan, Augustana's starting point guard. They are comfortable having Otto and LeBrun and Fink bring it up, but Bryan, one of the best assist to turnover ratio guys in the country.
Yeah, he makes them go in transition also.
Waters steps back, buries the three.
I think they got did they get a flop warning there? Yeah, they did. It's a good call here. Reimers, I don't know though. Kind of watching that made him look like he more lost his balance. So each team's got one of those.
Fink down low. Dies on the rim, but it rolls his way anyway.
Well, they are just pounding it inside to Isaac Fink to start this game at 6'4", going at the smaller defenders from Northwest Missouri State.
Dreamer off on the corner three. Reaching foul on Bernard. Actually going to call it body foul.
Augustana has had a lot more life on the offensive end. They're attacking the basket. They're attacking the paint. And they've already trimmed 5 points off the halftime lead.
Fink again in the post, the turnaround. Rebound by Dreamer. Bernard. Skip pass to Dreamer to Mascari. Bernard hangs, can't finish. Hudgens nearly got the steal. It does end up in the hands of Dreamer. Hudgens stops, pops, and hits. Trevor Hudgens with his 7th three-pointer of the ball game. He's got 23, and the lead is 7. You could make the argument, Brad, that Trevor Hudgens may be the most accomplished Division II player of all time. You just look at the accolades. He was the Elite Eight's most outstanding player as a freshman during Northwest Missouri State's 38-0 championship season. 3-time MIAA Player of the Year. Leads the NCAA in total three-pointers. It was 150 entering. It's 157 now. And he has just been an unreal player. All-time leading scorer at Northwest Missouri State. All-time leader in threes. All-time leader in assists. He is just unbelievable.
And you've seen his talent really shine here in a big-time game tonight.
LeBrun. Rebound by Dreamer.
Bearcats continuing to do a really good job on the D glass. They've only given up 2 offensive boards. That alone may be the biggest reason they're ahead in this game.
Mascari, short on that three. Ball rolling out of bounds. Dreamer tried to save it, but it'll be Augustana's ball. We will take another short timeout. 15:09 to go in the ball game. The lead is still 7 for the Bearcats.
The NCAA Division II Men's Basketball Central Region Championship on Midcoast Sports is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Get back to your passion.
$15:09 to go. Winner of this game moves on to the Elite Eight in Evansville, Indiana, for a shot at the national championship. Both these programs have won national championships in the past. They've combined to win 4 of the last 5, and duking it out to see who will have another shot again. Fink spins. They're going to call it on the floor, no basket.
Augustana has really attacked with Fink in the paint, trying to go right at Trevor Hudgens in there with that 4-inch size advantage.
Reamersma will wind up a 3 and hits. Just his 9th 3 of the entire season.
That is huge for Augustana to make Northwest Mo pay for helping into the low post that time.
Here's Waters. Get Reamersma.
They're really mixing up the defense. A soft 2-3 zone that they try to make it look like man.
Waters can't hit that outside shot. Fink spots up for 3. Off the back iron, offensive rebound, Benenato.
Augustana needs more of that. They've got the size advantage. They really haven't exploited it on the glass yet.
Otto got caught underneath. LeBrun, deep 3. Yes, sir! The lead is down to 1.
And after going just 1 for 4 in the first half from 3, Augustana's 4 of 6 this half. And back to the 2-3 zone this time. The 3rd defense we've seen the Vikings play.
Shot clock under 10 once again. Waters, Hudgens. Can't hit that 3. Back tap by Bernard. Mascari.
Augustana dodges a couple bullets there. You look at Northwest Missouri 3-point shooting. Everyone but Hudgens really actually kind of struggling. They're just 3 for 16 in this game.
Steal by Diego Bernard. Bernard in the clear, will glide in for 2.
And those are game-changing plays. Bernard's such a great defender on the ball.
Tried to go high-low to Reamersma. Another steal for the Bearcats.
West Missouri State very content to have patience when needed.
Bernard rattles in a 3. He's got 5 straight.
And that's 11 made 3s in this game for Northwest Missouri State. 33, David, of their 49.
LeBrun can't hit that open 3. Hudgens the board. Wes Dreamer, he buries a triple. It's an 8-0 run for the Bearcats.
The Bearcats, again, came into this game with the most three-point makes in the country, and they are doing it from the arc here tonight. 12 threes for Northwest Missouri State. Dreamer dreaming of a trip to the Elite Eight.
We mentioned the Bearcats, one of the best three-point, if not the best three-point shooting team in the country. See where they've led in the MIAA, where they've led as far as all of Division II, and nearly 50% from downtown once again this evening.
Yeah, they're 12 of 26 in this game. Came into tonight 6th in the nation for Ben McCollum's group, shooting 40%, and they take a ton of them. 25 attempts on average. They've exceeded that already in this game. We still got almost 11 minutes to go.
Jamison Bryan back in for Augustana with those 3 fouls. Fink on the backdoor cut. Got blocked by Bernard. They're going to call a jump ball over to the Bearcats.
Diego Bernard is really impacting this game on the defensive end. A huge steal a couple minutes ago and erasing what looked like an easy bucket there. I don't agree with the jump ball, but nonetheless, it was a fantastic block.
Bernard, MIAA all-defensive team each of the last 4 seasons. Defensive Player of the Year last season.
Vikings going to try this 1-3-1. They can be really long and take up a lot of space in this zone D.
Skip pass, Hudgens. Rebound by Dykeman.
Northwest Missouri State's done a great job in defensive transition in this game. Very few fast breaks for the Vikings.
Reamersma working inside, left it short. And it goes off the leg of LeBrew.
Wes Dreamer is also really settling in defensively in the low post. Does a great job of winning position, forcing Reamersma, David, to take a little bit of a longer shot than he would prefer there.
Bernard clutches, can't hit. Foul on the floor on the Bearcats. Get Jackson.
Augustana really needs to try to chip into this lead here. Northwest Missouri State, David, they're going to be a tough team to come back against if this thing gets under about 5 minutes. They shoot it well, shoot free throws well, and will control the tempo.
Dykeman spins, offensive foul. That'll be his 3rd.
And Augustana with 4 turnovers now in this half. Dreamer drawing that charge.
Augustana's been scoreless for about 4 minutes. Dreamer rattles it in. Largest lead of the ball game for the Bearcats. They're up 12.
It's an 11-0 run, and they're doing it from the three-point line. 3 threes in that stretch.
Fink can't hit the long 2. Loose ball foul on the floor on Northwest Missouri State. They get Dreamer.
Augustana has missed 21 shots in this game, and that's only their 4th offensive board.
Bryant, in and out. It will stay with the Vikings.
And I I really think Augustana, they can go after this over glass. Northwest Missouri State's not going to look to run much with this lead. Crash the boards on those misses.
Dykeman. Another offensive foul. That's his fourth.
He's got to recognize there's just nowhere for him to go there. And just a great job clogging up the lane by Northwest Missouri State.
Dykeman will take a seat. Okoye in for the Vikings. It was 44-43. Augustana had the ball, and you mentioned it. Diego Bernard with the steal and the lay-in. So that can be a game-changing play, and it certainly has bared out that way.
Yeah, they have had all the momentum since then.
Hudgens got a little too creative and threw that pass off the underside of the basket.
I'll tell you, that's about the only thing he struggled with tonight. He's got 3 turnovers.
It's a 5+ minute scoring drought now for Augustana.
And they've got to break that.
Remersma does with the reverse.
Yeah, that's the guy to do it. He's got 18 now. But it is go time on this end for the Vikings. They've got to really let their defense shine. The thing that's got them here really all season. They've been a terrific defensive team.
Augustana fans wanting a travel on Waters.
And it should have been. He definitely shuffled the feet.
Shot clock winding down. Bernard has to put it up. Off the back iron. 3 Vikings converge for that board. It's Remersma who collects it. Fink had it poked away, got it back. Tried to put it up. Good defense by the Bearcats.
And they've held Augustana to nearly 40% shooting in this game. Just a terrific defensive effort. And you can see here, this is why it's going to be tough to come back in this game for Augustana. There just won't be a lot of possessions.
Dreamer. A little too far outside.
I don't think Ben was home like that shot at all.
Floater from Bryan is off the back iron. Remersma tries to steal it away. They're going to call the loose ball foul on Tyler Remersma.
Northwest Missouri State trying to defend that national championship from last year. And it's the three-point line that's getting them this lead right now. They're up 10 because they've hit 13 triples in this game.
We mentioned these two teams are the best of the best. They've combined for 4 of the last 5 national championships. We've mentioned the winner of this region has at least reached the last 5 national championships. Northern State 2018 lost the national championship on this floor to Ferris State out of Michigan. But remember, there was no 2020 tournament because of COVID, so technically Northwest Missouri State is going for its 3rd title in a row. Yep. That has never happened at the Division II level. You remember, of course, the UCLA teams that won 8 in a row in Division I in the John Wooden, Bill Walton, Lou Alcindor days, but at D2, no one has ever three-peated.
And if you look at that 2020 season, they were right in line to probably win it. They were the #1 team in the country. It only lost 1 game that year. I mean, what an amazing run for this program, and they're trying to seal another trip to the Elite 8. They're 6 minutes and change away.
Shot clock under 10 now for Hudgens. Hudgens got blocked from behind by LeBrun. It's going to be a 30-second shot clock violation. Dylan LeBrun, the NSIC Defensive Player of the Year. There's a reason he's guarding Trevor Hudgens.
Yeah, and they ran Remersma at him too. They just double teamed in the last 5 seconds. They were not going to let Hudgens get another 3-point attempt.
LeBrun lost it on the way up.
Boy, Augustana just hasn't been able to get offensive runs put together in this second half to chip in to this lead. And David, given the pace of this game, we're probably looking about 9-10 more possessions for each of these squads.
Hudgens, pretty scoop.
Boy, this is going to get really difficult for Augustana. They're going to have to change the tempo of this thing and really become a lot more efficient on this end.
Fink will go to the line.
You see that Northwest Missouri State player huddle. 3 of those guys, David, have played the entire game. Dreamer, Hudgens, Waters have not come off the floor.
Isaac Fink with 13 now for Augustana. Make it 14. Lead is 10 with a little more than 5 minutes to go.
This is such a difficult task for Augustana because this Northwest Missouri State team is really hard to come back against. They shoot free throws terrific. 81% as a team, and then they got this guy right here with the ball.
Mascari down low to Waters. Hudgens working baseline, weaving, can't hit, tip doesn't go either. And they're saying it's off of Dykeman's leg, it will stay with Northwest Missouri State. Tom Billiter arguing that ball never hit the rim, so it should have been a shot clock violation. We'll get another look here. Well, here's the look. It's definitely off Dykeman, but
yeah, no question there. Dykeman just couldn't corral it. This is a reviewable play at any point in time in the game, and the officials can go over and take a quick look at it. I thought it did hit the rim. We'll see the replay.
There's the tip. I think it barely grazes the left side of the iron right there. Yeah, the ball's trajectory changes ever so slightly on the tip, which you see in the reflection. There's still 1 on the shot clock, kind of in that mirrored image on the backboard.
That's just great work there by our camera crew to catch that.
And a quick review, it will stay with the Bearcats.
And that's a good review that needed to stop the game to make sure. So good job by our officiating crew there. I think Augustana's going to have to start changing some different things here to pick up pace, including, I think, ramping up some defensive pressure here. Let's see if they can do that here. They've only been able to force 5 turnovers against this Bearcat offense so far tonight.
Foul on the drive on LeBrun.
How about this, though? Northwest Missouri State has not shot a free throw in this game, David. They've done it with jump shots. And the perimeter game has gotten them this 10-point advantage.
Deep 3 from Luke Waters.
He's the 4th player now to hit multiple threes in this game. And that might be the dagger.
Fink can't hit inside.
And how about the job Northwest Missouri's done on the glass? They are dead even with Augustana. And when I talked to their coaching staff, they said that was the turning point for them in this year, is when they really committed to being a good rebounding team. And it's been huge for them tonight.
Another corner 3, that one off from Mascari.
It's go time here. Augustana's really got to attack. They got to look for inside out that maybe can give them some 3-point looks. Now they're not moving once they throw it in, and they're going to turn it over again.
That was off of LeBrun's foot. Tie Time is dwindling for Augustana. Vikings down 13 with less than 3.5 to go. He's a former player for Northwest Missouri State and has an even more impressive resume as their head coach. 3 national championships, going for a 4th. Most impressive thing to me is when they played Augustana on this court 6 years ago. Since that time, they've lost 13 games. It's unreal.
That is unreal. I mean, a lot of teams will lose 13 games every year and still have a pretty good season. This program essentially averaging 2 losses a year over the last 6.
You see there, Northwest Missouri State with more threes made than Augustana 3 attempts. Waters inside, offensive foul.
Great take here by Reamersma, just standing in there. Well, as impressive as the 3-point shooting's been for Northwest Mo, and there's no doubt about that. I mean, 42 of their 60 points from the arc. Holding Tom Billiter's team right now 30 points below their average. Done it with great D, done it by controlling the tempo and limiting possessions as well.
Reamersma got it poked away by Mascari. Bearcat defense has been suffocating.
Well, and they've forced now 8 turnovers in this second half, and that's significant when you consider there's only been 25 possessions. So a third of them turnovers for Augustana. And time really becoming a huge issue. Finally force a TO themselves, though.
In transition, Reamersma for 2. Quick timeout from Tom Billiter. The lead is down to 11 with 2.5 minutes left.
This team's got to start thinking full court pressure here. They need more of that live ball turnovers that can lead to easy buckets the other way if possible.
You look at the foul situation, the next foul that Augustana commits will be a 1-and-1 for Northwest Missouri State, which, as you mentioned, they have not attempted a free throw in this game.
Which is crazy. I mean, they average almost 20 free throw attempts a game. They get to the line a lot. They've just taken so many jump shots in this game because the 3-point shots have been so good to them.
And the bad news, if you're an Augustana fan, Northwest Missouri State, excellent at the line. 81% as a team, that's second in the country.
Yeah, that does not bode well to play the foul game, but I think Augustana's got to get this lead down to 7 or 8 points before they think about that. They've got to think about turnovers. They've got to think about changing the pace of this game. They can't let the Bearcats run a lot of clock here.
Here is some full court pressure. Hudgens able to get it across.
Great guard play. It's obviously the recipe for breaking a press.
Shot clock down to 5. And a reach-in foul on LeBrun.
Ben McCollum's team, cool, collected there, handled the press, ran 22 seconds of precious time off this clock. And as we mentioned earlier, their first free throw attempts coming now.
1-and-1 for Trevor Hudgens. In and out. A rare miss. 92% at the line for the season is Hudgens. Is this the break Augustana needs? Bryant. This is everything. Reamersma gets it back. LeBrun skying for it. Stolen away by Bernard.
Well, even when Augustana's had good looks, they haven't been able to capitalize like they normally would.
So now it'll be Diego Bernard at the line. Still a 1-and-1 situation. Bernard also off on the front end. Riemersma, the drive. Dykeman got fouled on the offensive board.
I tell you what, Wes Dreamer's done a pretty good job defensively overall in this game. Yes, Riemersma has 20, but he got a lot of those early on.
1-1 for Adam Dykeman. Able to hit both. Lead is 9. 3-possession game with 100 seconds left. More full court pressure from the Vikings. And that's going to be Dykeman's 5th foul.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised they didn't have a Coy in there defensively because of that. I don't think they were trying to foul on purpose, but certainly pressuring the ball a lot.
9 points tonight for Dykeman. In his final season at Augustana. Still a 1-1 for Hudgens. Boy, 3 straight misses on the front end for Northwest Missouri State.
Yeah, they have left this door cracked open because of that.
Riemersma short on that 3. Jamison Bryan fouls Isaiah Jackson. That is the 10th team foul, so double bonus now.
That's going to be 5 on Jamison Bryan as well.
So Bennett Otto was in for Adam Dykeman. Okoye comes in for Jamison Bryan. Two shots now for Isaiah Jackson.
This is
Fusion.
unbelievable.
This was the double bonus. It was the 10th team foul. And apparently, only the officials knew it. Well, us and the officials knew it.
Yeah, you were on top of it. But Northwest Missouri State, the second best free throw shooting team in the country, has missed 4 in a row here when they could seal this game.
Finally break that streak. 10-point lead means it's also 4 possessions. 1:20 to go.
Bearcats know here, you just got to defend the arc.
Hudgens knocks it out. 1:14 to go.
The 3-point line is what Augustana needs. Look for a post touch and a kick out.
We got a foul on Bernard. That'll send LeBrun to the line. That's probably the best thing you could have hoped for if you're Augustana.
Yeah, that's one of the worst things that Northwest Missouri State could have done to help their cause. Clock stops, chance to score without any time going off, and a chance to potentially set your press too pretty easily here.
First one rattles in for LeBrun. Second one's off. Knocked out of bounds. They're going to have to review it. I believe they said the initial call is Augustana's possession, so that's critical in the sense that you need that overwhelming evidence to overturn it.
It sure looked like Okoye, though, was the last one to touch it.
Okoye and Waters both had some fingertips on it. And this is what we saw in the NBA playoffs last season. It's kind of that letter spirit of the law where whose fingertips does it hit last versus which hand got more momentum hitting it out.
Yeah, that's where you just say, sure looked like Okoye was the last one, but Augustana would take any break they could get right now. They're going to need it here.
And again, the call is Augustana's possession, which is critical for them just in the sense of they need to see something to definitively overturn the initial call on the floor. It's going to stay with the Vikings.
Now a break for Augustana. They've gotten a couple of them here. They still have a little bit of life. But they desperately need a 3 here to get this down to a 2-possession lead.
Fink.
Right there on the catch.
They are going to call the foul. It's Bernard again. So again, Augustana's best case scenario, clock is stopped and a chance to add. See, Bernard got him on the arm at the very end.
Yeah, had ball first, but then did get the arm of Fink.
Augustana football coach Jerry Olszewski in the crowd. A bunch of his players in the student section as well. The lead is 7 with 65 seconds remaining. As you mentioned, Brad, a chance for the Vikings to set their press. And they call the foul as that ball sailed over the head of Hudgens.
Yeah, they said, I think they actually got LeBrun with the hold. That's going to be his 4th. Well, this is the guy Northwest Mo wants at the line, as you mentioned. Top 10 in the country, 92% coming in.
And he finally makes one. He had missed his first 2.
This is what's going to make this comeback just so hard for Augustana.
It's both. The lead is 9. Still a 3-possession game. 1 minute to go. Dreamersma tries to get his own offensive rebound, but it doesn't go in, and Dreamer gets fouled with 55 seconds left. Number 4 on Reamersma. He and LeBrun each have 4.
And Augustana in this second half, David, just shooting 32%. The lid has been on the basket.
Dreamer rattles in the first.
And it's not like Northwest Missouri has really blazed the nets either, but the thing is they've shot so many threes in this game and hit 14 of them. You don't have to shoot a high percentage to have a better efficiency number, and they certainly have done that.
Lead is 11. Benedetto short on that 3. Tapped out of bounds. It'll stay with Augustana. LeBrun. In and out. Otto skying for the loose ball. Back out. Corner 3 for Otto. Got fouled on the 3.
They got Waters here, which I think they did. It's going to be his 5th.
So Luke Waters fouls out for Northwest Missouri State. Mascari's going to come back in for Waters. And Otto will get 3 chances at the stripe.
Well, Augustana had some chances. Northwest Missouri State missed 3 straight front ends of 1-and-1s, left the door open there, but the Vikings really couldn't capitalize and chip into the lead much.
Otto goes 2 of 3. Lead is 9. Tom Billiter will use his last time out here with 36 and 7/10 seconds remaining. You mentioned it, Brad. There were opportunities aplenty for Augustana. And you kind of foresaw it when it was 44-43, Northwest Missouri State. Augustana had the ball. Diego Bernard gets the steal, glides in for the layup. Back-to-back threes after that. The lead was pushed from 1 to 9, and it hasn't been any closer since then.
Yeah, that was a game-changing defensive play by Diego Bernard there to get that steal, get an easy bucket, and then, I mean, Northwest Missouri State has really done a nice job sharing the basketball, moving the basketball, hitting the outside shot. And 42 of their 65 coming from the three-point line.
Hudgens leads all scorers with 27, 7 threes. We mentioned his facilitation. He also leads them in assists with 6. He is the straw that stirs the drink.
No question of why he was the player of the year again in their conference. National Player of the Year last year, and looking like he's on his way to winning that award again. His team 37 seconds away from a return trip to the Elite Eight.
Full court pressure here again from Augustana. But Isaiah Jackson got out ahead of the pack. He will put it in, and that will be the exclamation point on this one. Reamersma, tough take, couldn't get it to go. Mascari is fouled by Reamersma with 22 seconds left. And the Northwest Missouri State fans starting to sense it. 5th foul on Tyler Reamersma. Another double-double for him, 20 points, 11 rebounds. He got going early.
Yeah.
He had those 12 early in the first half. He hit his first 6 from the field. But Northwest Missouri State, credit them for switching things up defensively and limiting Reamersma's effectiveness the rest of the ballgame.
Yeah, he was just 3 for 10 the rest of the way. And they did a really good job of bringing help. When he caught it, there was a lot of traffic around him.
Deep 3 from McCoy is off.
And the Bearcat Nation that's made this trip to Sioux Falls knows this one's theirs.
Another breakaway lay-in for Isaiah Jackson. The Bruins 3 is off. Mascari the board. And Northwest Missouri State is going back to the Elite Eight. The Bearcats will get a chance to win their 3rd straight national title, 4th and 5th 5 seasons. And once again, for the 2nd year in a row, they win at an NSIC school to claim the region title. They won at Northern State last season. They win at Augustana this season. 70-56 is your final.
Well, what can you say? I mean, this was a hostile environment they had to come into in Sioux Falls tonight, and they got it done and did it their way. I mean, they controlled the tempo of this game just like they needed to. Their star player, Trevor Hudgens, really controlling the show with 27 points in this one. 27 points, 6 assists for Trevor Hudgens. And we are joined by Ben McCollum. Ben, congratulations on another Central Region championship. It was 44-43 at some point in the second half. Diego makes a steal, glides in for 2, hit a couple threes after that. How big a momentum shift was that steal and score by Diego?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, he makes big plays like that. He's a winner. That's, you know, of all the things that he can do, winning is his best trait. Competitor. And obviously, that little run, we hit a couple shots against that zone, kind of got him out of the zone, and then we're able to just kind of ice it out from there with Trevor.
Trevor, 27 points, hit 7 threes, also led you guys with 6 assists. You know him as well as anyone. Why has he been able to be so effective in clutch moments like this?
You know, he's a humble kid. You know, I think a lot of people that work with a level of humility, you know, that's how they act. They want to work, and you know, it's a beautiful thing. I only got a couple more questions. I got to celebrate.
I will end it there. Thank you for
No,
your
you're
time,
good.
Ben.
You
and
can ask another one.
All right. You know what? I will give you the chance to celebrate. Congratulations, Ben.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thanks for doing it.
Ben McCollum, Northwest Missouri State, once again with an opportunity to win a national championship. As you see Ben celebrate with his players. Hats off to Augustana for a tremendous season. They end the year 26-4, built the program back up to where they are, a contender. But the cream of the crop in Division II for the past decade has been Northwest Missouri State. Another trip to the Elite Eight. Northwest Missouri State will get a chance to three-peat. They win the Central Region Championship 70-56 over Augustana. Dave Brown back with Brad Newitt here at the Sanford Pentagon, and we discussed it with Coach. You discussed it as well. The turning point being that Diego Bernard steal and score led to a run, led by 9. Augustana couldn't really get much closer. Yep. All the credit in the world to Augustana on a fantastic season, but Northwest Missouri State, they've been in these pressure-packed situations before, and it showed out again tonight.
Yeah, they've got an incredible culture of winning, especially in the NCAA tournament here. That's 21 of their last 22 games in this event that they've won. What can you say about that? But I think the key was they dictated the tempo of this game. They got a lower possession game. And, David, they competed on the glass. That was a key. Augustana was never able to get going on the O boards. And then what can you say? A team makes 14 threes.
Yep.
You give yourself a great chance to win. Hats off to Northwest Missouri State. Just a terrific game. In a tough environment here in the Sanford Pentagon, and they came to play. Yeah,
plenty of fans came from Maryville down here, but this was definitely a pro-Augustana crowd. Credit to those Bearcat fans, though, as well as the Bearcats as they win 70-56. Let's get a look at our second half highlights. They are brought to you by Montgomery's. Isaac Fink, they went to him early in the post in this early part of the second half. Augustana got it close, but couldn't quite take the lead.
Yeah, even when Fink caught it in there was a lot of traffic. You know, he only shoots 4 of 13, did get to the line some, but Augustana unable to really establish him consistently.
Trevor Hudgens may have scored the most points, but Diego Bernard, to me, was the best player on the floor in terms of his impact.
Exactly. Defensively, great impact. He had 6 assists in this game as well, so a great facilitator on that offensive end.
Hudgens and Wes Dreamer played all 40 minutes, 13 points for Dreamer. Wasn't terribly efficient from 3, but his spacing created a lot of issues.
Exactly. You have to respect him. That's just one less help defender inside and on the boards.
As we get a look at the final numbers, you mentioned the rebound. Augustana ends up winning by 2, but again, a lot of opportunities late. They got some second chances. Augustana normally a team that is +7 on the glass, only +2. And then obviously the outside shot was just a huge edge for the Bearcats, which we talked about at the very beginning of the ball game.
Yeah, they're a great three-point shooting team all year long. Average over 10 made threes a game. Tonight it was even better than that. I think another key thing is they were able to force turnovers in the second half. Augustana had 8 of them. And because of that, that really limited Augustana's offensive efficiency, and again, only shooting 35%. Great defensive effort by Northwest Missouri State.
So Northwest Missouri State now 31-5 on the season. They will head to the Elite Eight in Evansville, Indiana next week for a shot at their 3rd straight Division II national championship. It has never been done before. Augustana, hats off to Tom Billiter and his crew, a senior-laden squad. They finished the season 26-4, show they can compete again, and they'll certainly be a factor down the stretch in the NSIC for years to come. Thank you to our entire production crew, our producer Travis Wagaman, director Joey Beltram, technical director Toby McDonald. Our engineer on site is Casey Talaga. For all the other hardworking men and women at Midco Sports, alongside Brad Newitt, I'm David Brown. Thanks everyone for watching on Midco Sports and Midco Sports Plus. Bearcats, back to the Elite Eight.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships.